This is part 2 of my deck rebuild. If you saw part 1, you saw I used to have a water garden here, about 1,000 gallons. Getting that off of here was a lot more work than I anticipated, but I got it done, got it cleaned off. And as you can see, my deck is in really bad shape. And so now we're starting to remove some boards. But if you're a DIYer, one thing I'm going to suggest that you do, I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to go around to all the balusters and the railings and the steps, and I'm going to take pictures of all that stuff before I tear it down. That way when I start rebuilding it, if I've got any questions about what it was like before, I can go look at my old photos and I know how to put the new parts back together. So that's always a good recommendation when you're getting into something. If you're not real sure, if it's not something you've done multiple times, just take pictures of what it looks like before you start and then jump in and have at it. All right, so let's go on. Let's move on with this deck rebuild. Now, I just pulled the first board up from over that way, which is the worst part of my deck. And I was really surprised at how easily it came up. Apparently, just about every nail was rusted completely in two. I got a couple here that have not rusted into. Well, that one just broke off on me. But I'm a big believer in when you take something apart, take the nails out of it, or either bend them over where they can't hurt people. Because one of these rusty nails, if you look at that right there, if my camera will focus on it, if you step on that and that goes in your foot, you're going to have a really bad day. So make sure that you pull your nails out, or at the very least bend them over where they can't hurt you if you step on the board. Another trick I learned years ago, if you're doing this and you're looking for nails, if you just take your hammer and slide it up through there, if there's a nail sticking up, that hammer can find it easier than you can. So that's just another quick tip. All right, let's flip this thing over and see what we can pull up. I got one there. I got a couple heads here. Another one there. And there's more to be pulled out. But anytime I'm doing this, I always I take an old gallon jug of some sort, cut part of the top out of it, leave the handle, and I use that to put my old rusty nails in. And just to show you what I got, this is what I got. You can see from other projects, it's about full. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to toss this one out and get another one. But always keep something around to put your old nails in, just to make sure they don't end up in your yard where you can step on them, run over with your lawnmower or something like that. Just be safe. Okay, it's the next day here and I've got some of my decking boards up. This is a lot of work, but the way I do it, I focus on being safe. And right now I want to give you a safety tip for your own deck. I'm going to show you a close-up of this piece of wood, and then I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to show you why I'm going to tell you what I'm getting ready to tell you. All right, let's cut this piece of wood. This is the piece of wood I just cut. As you can see, it's in really bad shape. And imagine one of your deck boards looked like that. Now, this area over here was over here was more exposed to a lot of stuff that weathered it a lot. This side not so much. But this is what can happen to your deck boards over time. And now I want to show you on the good end, this is what the green looks like. Now look at how much rot there are on the edges and stuff. Now on this end it looks worse. You see that? There's still a lot of real good wood here. That's the back side. There's still a lot of good wood there. Now, pay attention to what I'm getting ready to tell you about your own deck if you have it redone or you have a new one built. Now this is the example that I want to make. I got 3 pieces of wood here. This is a 2x6. That's the end cut. That's hasn't weathered. I mean, it's a little bit brown, but it's the same dimensions as normal wood. This is 3/4 wood over here. This is a deck board, like a lot of decks are built with these days. But notice how much thinner it is than a 2x. The one in the middle was also a 2x, and you saw what it looked like. Now imagine if this board had that kind of rot on your deck. If you watch Facebook or YouTube videos, it's not at all unlikely that sooner or later you're going to see a video where somebody fell through their deck because the board was rotten. It's almost always because they use these thinner boards on the decking of their deck. This board, and I showed you the bad side, I was still walking on that and I did not worry about falling through it because I knew there was still enough good wood underneath the part that looked bad. But if it had been boards like this, I would have fallen through that deck a long time ago. And also, I might say, I cut these off so you can see the ends real good. If you saw my little DeWalt chainsaw, if you're interested in one, I got a video about that. I love this little thing. I've got 7 chainsaws and this is the one I use the most. So if you're interested in a good little 20-volt chainsaw, I recommend this DeWalt thing. All right, now I'm going to turn this around and show you the other end of this, because this is the bad end. This is the good end. All right, hold on, I'm going to turn this around. Now I've taken the deck board I just pulled up and showed you this is the bad end of it. Now if you look at this, I took my tape measure and this board has rotted down to the point that it's just a hair over an inch thick. This typical deck board that contractors like to use these days, it is an inch thick. Now imagine if you lost 7/8 or 5/16 of that thickness. I mean, what you got left is paper thin. If half of that gets rotted away or deteriorated or you got a weak spot, you're going to fall through it. This board is a 2x6. It's 1.5 inches thick. That extra thickness makes a huge difference. So I strongly recommend if you have a deck built, you build one yourself or you have one repaired, make sure the decking is built with a 2-inch thick material and you're a lot less likely to get hurt by falling through it. At this point, I'm about halfway across my deck getting the boards up. It's a lot more work than I expected, but I'm working slow, I'm being real careful, real safe, taking care of the debris and stuff as I get boards up. And one thing I do is I keep my area clean. When it starts getting a little messy with chips of wood or whatever, I either pick them up or vacuum or use my blower and blow them off, but just try to be safe. But anyway, I'm getting these things up, ain't working real good. There's a tool you can get that from that side over there, you can put under here and prise up the boards, but I don't want to work out there. And I don't want to spend $60 for the tool. So I'm using my crowbar, I'm working from over here, and just doing what I can with what I got. And this works okay, it's just slow. Man, that one's really hard. One thing I've learned that does help me, and you might be surprised at this, is my little shovel. I can put my little shovel in here, and that helps keep the boards further apart so I can get my crowbar in further. And that does help. As strange as it may seem, obviously I can't use my shovel to prise much because I would break it, but it works pretty good for keeping the boards separated so I can get my crowbar between them. I've learned to be particularly careful when I push this way, because if something breaks loose, I go out across there and that could be real bad. So I'm always real cautious when I'm pushing that way. As you can see, this ain't easy. But I'm doing what I can with what I got to work with. This board seems to be particularly difficult to get up, but I get it. Now, as I said earlier, I always take these nails out as I get boards up. Don't want these things laying around with a bunch of nails in them because it's dangerous. So like this, a lot of the nails are still here. I got this one board up. I'm gonna take the time to get all those nails out. All right, let's do that. I just start with the ones here convenient right at me. Now after I get all the nails out, I take this board and I put it back over there over those joists that are just laying open, just in case I fall over there. I might have something to fall on. All right, now the next step is there's some nails that pulled through the wood when I was getting that board up. The next step is I'll get those nails up. So let's do that. Now, one thing you need to be careful about, if you get a nail that's being a little bit more stubborn than normal, particularly in a situation like this where the nails are rusty, sometimes that nail will break off and part of it will head straight up. So don't have your head straight over the end of the crowbar. Always try to keep your body to the side, just in case that nail breaks off and launches straight up. See, that one came out real good, but sometimes they don't. That one looks like it's real loose. I just pulled it up. But just be careful. All right, let's go get the next board. Now there's something I want to show you underneath my deck, because I'm sure there's contractors and handyman and just normal folks out there that are saying there is no way that deck held a water garden with 1,000 gallons of water. And that's 8,000 gallons of water. That's 4 tons. Well, let me show you what I did. Underneath my deck, and one of my posts fell because the weight's not on it now, but I had 3 extra beams under here carrying the weight of that water garden. There's no way I would have put that much weight on this deck without extra support underneath to hold that weight up, just to carry the weight. And this water garden's been here for almost 30 years. I think these supports I put in here did a fine job, because this thing, if it sagged any at all, it was very, very little. And all the posts that you see, let's say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One that fell over after the weight was taken off of it. Only one is original. The other 6 I put in here just to help carry the weight. So that's why I didn't have trouble with my deck falling or sagging or anything. I did something to take care of that 4,000 pounds of water I put on top of it. Now at this point, I got all my deck boards up from the main part of my deck. Over here that you can't see is the back door of my house. A little bit of the platform right there at the back door I have not torn out yet, and I got a set of steps over here. I'm leaving those for right now so I can still come and go from the back door of my house. But the main part of my deck, I got all the boards up. Had a set of steps over there. Those are all torn out and ready to be replaced now. So at this point, I'm going to end this video. It's part 2 of rebuilding my deck, and sorry about all the neighbors mowing grass and blowing leaves or whatever. A lot of noise out here today. So anyway, like I said, this is going to end this part. Part 2 will be coming up. We'll be rebuilding the steps and starting the deck replacement here. So if you enjoyed this video, please click like, share it with your friends, all those things. We'd really appreciate it. And just like to say thank you for visiting. Do it yourself with Wayne, and we hope you have a great day.